Hey guys, Jonathan here. I have to excuse my voice. I'm just getting over a really bad cold. Um, but since I'm staying home from work today, I thought I'd go ahead and make this video. Um, Now that I just got Camtasia Studio, um, and I really like Camtasia Studio. By the way, it makes things really easy. Um, but anyway, I thought I'd show you some things that I'm working on my emulator. Uh, The big thing that I've been working on is the GUI interface, and as you can see right here, this is the first window that pops up when you launch the GUI, and the GUI it's written in Qt and it can interface to my FPGA development board using either Ethernet, UDP over Ethernet, or just straight UART communication. So this is the first window that pops up, so you can set up your network interface to the board. Um, and then the next window that pops up, I'm going to shrink this down for you, bring it over here. Um, but this is the main user window. Um, the UART to the board, inside I wrote a little IP that I can logically switch between multiple IP cores, all interfacing to one physical UART. So I've got three logical ports in this UART multiplexer here, and this main mux right here is what you use to load up a ROM into the onboard SRAM. So if we go ahead and do that right now, let's see, pick Mario Bros. Here. I'll just load up Super Mario Brothers. The text that you see coming back here is our responses from the ROM to SRAM IP core saying that loaded up, it successfully loaded up the ROM. K means that the command was okay. H means the header was okay. A dot is just a progress dot for saying that it loaded up a one complete 16 kilobyte block of prog data, and then the P means the last block of prog data was completely sent to the board, and then a C means that the char was completely sent. You don't see any dots before the C because Super Mario Brothers only has one block of char data, so that's why you're only seeing that. So as you can see over here, Super Mario Bros. Is loaded up and running, and I'm going to go ahead and show you some other things on here. So this pblaze logger, this is actually a picoblaze CPU logger, and what I did is I added an IP core into my version of the 6502 CPU core. It's all HDL. I don't have any C or software running on here except for a really tiny picoblaze assembly application running for the CPU logger, and that's just so that it can recognize commands that I send it using this. So one thing I can do real quick before I get to the CPU logger is I can just tell the Ethernet interface just to send a test packet hello. So I know the Ethernet interface is working, that the IP and port are set up properly for the UDP. So this is, every time you see a hello, that's a UDP packet. So now if I start the CPU logger, you're going to see that Super Mario Brothers slows down like significantly. It's completely unplayable. And the reason it does that is because it pauses the CPU to capture all the register data, and then will not release the CPU until it spits out all the register data over the Ethernet, or I'm sorry, over the UART. And the reason that it does that, well, it does that because the UART's so slow, basically. But I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna really make the data that it spits out a lot more efficient, a lot smaller. I'm just going to send the raw hex bytes and then post-process it on the machine using Qt, well, using C++. Because right now it's literally sending all these ASCII characters, and that's like the most inefficient way to do it over the UART. Regardless, the UART's definitely never going to be fast enough. So eventually, the CPU, the user will have the option of spitting out the CPU log over the Ethernet instead. That's not hard to do. I just got to get around to doing it. You can't save it yet. There's a forgot to put that in there. Going to you're going to be able to save the CPU log off, and then you'll be able to do a comparison to the official, quote-unquote official NES test ROM log that's available on the NESDev wiki. But you can clear it, and that does actually free the memory in the application, and we can close that. Let's see. So this PP lock step button, basically, if you have the CPU logger running, you can turn off PP lockstep, and what that does, I'm not going to do it because it can mess up the game. It basically does not. It'll allow the PPU to continue clocking information, continue clocking cycles, and while pausing the CPU. And it really messes up the graphics and stuff. It's actually kind of cool. I'm not going to do it right now. Anyways, I also have a Game Genie interface, which I just finished like day before yesterday. Today's Tuesday. Yeah, I just finished that on Sunday. I'm really excited about it because I do have the ability to put the Game Genie codes in using the original Game Genie ROM. So you would load up the ROM, and then it'll show you the old school Game Genie interface for those nostalgic people out there. But it's really inefficient. It just takes a long time. So now you can just enter them in over the UART, and eventually you'll also be able to do that over Ethernet as well. But all you have to do to summon over the UART is click on the code entry button and check the Game Genie master enable. So if master enable is unchecked, all codes are disabled, whether or not their box is checked. The code text entry blocks are red right now because you don't have any valid code in there. And these blocks will actually check to that you have proper syntax for the Game Genie code. For example, the most significant bit of the 4-bit value of the third character, yeah, say that 10 times fast, determines whether or not the Game Genie code is a 6 or 8 letter character. So right now, the most significant bit of the 4-bit value for is 0. So that means it's a 6-letter character, 6-letter code. So if I put in, of course, 6 is bad, always bad, or 7 characters is always bad. But if I try to put in 8, that's also bad. So it does complete error checking for codes before it allows you to check the box, because if it's an invalid code, you can't check the box. So anyways, this is I've got this code memorized. Isn't that sad? This is Infinite Lives for Super Mario Brothers 1. So before I hit OK on that, and before it sends the codes to the UART, to Game Genie module, I'm going to go ahead and just kill myself really quick here. And you're going to see I'll only have 2 lives left. Okay, so 2 lives. Now I'm going to say OK. So now it wrote those Game Genie codes in there, and now when I die again, I still have 2 lives left. So that's pretty much all I wanted to show you for now. This is my very first try of Camtasia Studio, so I guess we'll see how well it works. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. See you on the forums. Bye.